for this stream. I've been waiting for this game since the final whistle of the Baltimore Ravens divisional matchup. Harley, right now I'm trying to contain all my excitement. It's definitely going to be hard when I have someone next to me who is just a firecracker as it is. But before we jump into this, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ruben. That is Harley. You can find him on YouTube at the lead _Houston. We're going to be talking about week 1, Houston Texans versus Indianapolis Colts. This episode was brought to you and powered by BetUS, and they changed their promotion, guys. Take advantage of their 150% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. Harley, I'm feeling dangerous. Ooh. I'm feeling confident. This is the BetUS website. Here you have the Houston Texans. They have the Houston Texans as 3-point favorites, right? First, let's look at everything, man. Handball, lacrosse, cricket, esports, dude. I cannot wait to really just bet on every single sport when I have the chance. But I like the Houston Texans as 3-point favorites. What about you?
I mean, this is a dumb question. Obviously, I do. Obviously, I do, man. I'm always gonna pick my Houston Texans. Hell, last year, and I was rewatching some of the prediction videos that I had, and last year, I never picked against the Texans except the first game of the season. It's crazy, huh?
It is crazy.
Or maybe the Browns game. I'd have to watch that one again. The first Browns game. You know what I mean? When we didn't have CJ, and
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I think I picked an L for sure on that one. Oh yeah. Besides them two, I mean, come on, man. It's H-Town till we drown. You know how it is, man.
Shout out to my boy Chase. H-Town till we drown. Guys, I'm feeling dangerous. Let's put a little 50 to win 50 here, just to let you know we put our money where our mouth is. We believe in this Houston Texans team. Shout out to Joe Hendry and shout out to BetUS. Once again, guys, take full advantage of the 150% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. Promo code YouTube150. All right, Harley, let's jump into it, man. First of all, how are you feeling?
I'm ecstatic, man.
What else?
It's like a finally.
What?
Like, damn, it's week 1.
What?
NFL here.
What?
We got Brazil. We got Brazil. We got Packers and Eagles today. Can't wear green, but hey, they're in Brazil. That's a crazy game, man. I'm so happy
dumb. They should never do that ever again. And shout out to my people, Brazil, but it's just too dangerous right now.
Yeah, hell no. I mean, shout out to them for sure, but that's just too scary for me. I ain't about that life. That's just a little too far. That's a little too far. But man, we're definitely excited, man. We're ecstatic. It's a finally moment. It's a finally we get to go into Lucas Oil Stadium and beat the crap out of the Indianapolis Colts. That's the finally. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I've been dropping on my trash talk as much as I can, all over the TikTok and the Instagram and my YouTube shorts. Anytime I get to take a shit on the Colts, I absolutely do it. And you know what? I go twice.
Oh,
that's how bad it is. Real shitter right here. Real shitter.
And he doesn't wipe because he don't let shit bother him.
Yeah. Okay. Drop a bar.
That's crazy. Guys, we are going to react to the Houston Texans 2024 hype video.
Turn me up.
Turn us up. I cannot wait. How excited I am. First of all, RIP Rich Homie Quan.
Dude.
Of his passing yesterday. Shout out to him. This
no
thing
telling.
definitely is going to make us feel some type of way, and I cannot wait to be hosting up that Lombardi. Let's start with the Houston Texans 2024 season hype video.
Ain't no telling.
Oh, I feel it.
You hear that, Houston?
I hear it.
Silence. Sometimes that silence can be deafening. But in that void, there's a whisper of what's to come. A pulse reverberating into the city that grows stronger by the second. You can feel it in the air, a rumbling, and anxiety, that feeling in the pit of your stomach. Echoes of expectations.
Then there's this team in Houston. They brought in Stephon Diggs, they bring in Joe Mixon. Well, we got massive respect for what they got going on.
It's an earned sensation, and you can't shake it. I've felt it before. I know what it's like.
Oh my God!
It's intercepted. Blocked and five. Touchdown Texans. And Reliant Stadium has erupted.
The energy, the speculation, the expectations.
What do you think of the Texans' hype?
Expectations from the outside have gone through the roof.
They have a target on their back.
Well, listen, the hype, that's just chatter.
It doesn't matter what people say on the outside about the men in this room.
They're pretty steadfast in not listening to the outside noise.
In the end, we're the Houston Texans, so we can't worry about what happened last year.
Because around here, success isn't homes, it's leased. And rent, that shit's due every damn day.
Every day.
We're relentlessly focused on one thing, building this foundation our way. But not only for this team, no. This is for all of H-Town.
For you, baby.
The heartbeat of this city is what drives this team forward each and every day. So now it's finally time to break that silence and make noise the only way we know how.
Here's it out for Collins. He's got it. Throw down. Will Anderson.
Stingley with the interception to the end zone. Touchdown! Houston dominant.
On the damn field. H is up, H-Town.
Houston, this is for you. This is for the people that were made fun of for being a Houston Texans fan. This is for the people that were there during Matt Schaub, Brian Hoyer, Brock Osweiler, Deshaun Watson, the Jeff Driscoll offense. This is for you. 2 years ago, we were called an embarrassment. We were called the laughing stock of the NFL. And now we have our eyes set on things that this team has never seen. An AFC championship and getting a chance to fight for the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the year. This is for Houston. So when I see the outside world call me a bandwagon fan, tell me I sound like a Dallas Cowboy fan, say, look how they act after 1 year. It's a Houston thing you would not understand. When we say H-Town till we drown, we 100% mean that it's 2 days away, but I am in game mode, Harley. I want the Colts right now. Let's freaking go.
I'm the same way, man. I'm right there with you. And I think it's just, a simple answer that football runs Texas. And so fans that are outside of Texas, man, they don't understand it, man. Because football is everything here in Texas. It is everything. In any city inside Texas, you got Friday Night Light football, man. You got high school football. You got, hell, it goes all the way to Pee-wee football, man. Then people take that crap serious.
Flag football before Pee-wee.
Yes. Like, I mean, it's everything is so serious here when it comes to the state of Texas. People outside it, look at them. They all hyped after 1 year. Nah, man, they don't understand what football means to this state and to this city. I mean, this city alone, I've said this story how many times, Ruben? I'll say it again, bro. The Oilers, the Houston Oilers, they lost. They came off a loss in the playoffs to the Steelers. And they come home to the Astrodome. They come home to Houston. And there is a sea of Love Your Blue fans cheering them on, clapping for them. It is flooded with fans. That's how much Houston gives a damn about football. That's how much Houston bleeds. That H-Town blue, that battle red, that Liberty white. That's how much we bleed this shit, man. This is what we do. This is what we live for. We live for Sundays. We live for football. You think I want to watch a damn team that goes 2-14? Hell no. I don't want to watch that. I'm sick and tired of looking at them damn teams. We got a brand new team. We got a brand new regime. We got a brand new coach, brand new owner. Everything new. This Houston Texans team's got an aura to them. They got a vibe.
Houston Texans.
It's just different from past teams. I thought we could have won one with Kubiak But I didn't think that before the season began. I thought it during the season because we were running through teams, until unfortunately our quarterback got hurt, Matt Schaub. I never thought in any time in the Bill O'Brien era we were going to win a Super Bowl until the first quarter of the Chiefs game. And it's an unfortunate thing to bring up right now. That's how much we've never felt the aspirations of a Super Bowl, the aspirations of an AFC Championship game, the aspirations of something bigger, something greater could finally happen here in Houston. And I'm not talking Astros, I'm not talking Rockets. We appreciate everything they do, obviously. We always going to be repping them. But it's different when it comes to football and especially our Houston Texans.
I couldn't agree more. And I want people to know that as you are watching this Houston Texans fan, and I could guarantee that 90% of the people in this chat are older than this franchise themselves, that they are witnessing here. Guys, we're going to have the opportunity to say we saw the start of the Houston Texans regime. Like who just said it, Lorenzo, a Texans era. And man, it feels like we're on the birth of that. It feels like the NFL was not ready for the Houston Texans. They did not expect us hardly to have the offensive rookie of the year, the defensive rookie of the year, a finalist for head coach, a finalist for assistant coach, and Bobby Slowick. But yet here we are, and you have the offseason that we've been screaming for, which is you go out there and you bring in 5-6 high caliber starters. Stephon Diggs, the nail hunter, Joe Mixon. I mean, come on. If you would have told me last year that the Houston Texans were going to go for those guys and land them, I would have laughed at you in the face and said, this is not how it's going to go. But here we are. I have to pinch myself hardly every other day to remind myself that this is real life. And just 2 years ago, I was seeing a team just be dog shit every single Sunday and having to come here in front of this camera and say it's going to get better when I knew in the back of my mind it wasn't. But now here we are in a new era. And Harley, it starts week 1 against the Indianapolis Colts.
Man, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. And I think comment of the night, early little early one, comment of the night. We didn't come this far just to come this far.
Shout out
Will
to
Anderson Jr. mentioned it yesterday. What the hell? Last year in the playoffs. Mentioned it last year going into the playoffs. I believe. Yeah, I believe it was before the Browns game or after. I think it was before the Browns game. He mentioned it, to the media. We didn't come this far just to come this far. And that still resides today. That is still the motto. The Houston Texans know the task at hand. I talked to Will Kunkel and I talked to Chancellor Johnson, and they both have said that the hype and the expectations definitely is not in their heads. Like it is definitely not something that Texans fans should be worried about or concerned about.
100%.
This team is with CJ Stroud, who to me is probably a perfect pairing between him and DeMeco Ryans. Both of them want to be great. DeMeco always wanted to be great, whether it was a player and now as a coach, and he strives for that greatness, and he strives for his players, our team, to be great. But in order to get there, you got to take care of the opportunities, you got to take care of the chances, and you got to take care of week 1. It starts this Sunday in Lucas Oil Stadium.
And just to pivot off your first point, when you hear DeMeco, right, they asked him, what are the expectations on the Shannon Sharp show? And instead of saying, yeah, our goal is to be there at the very end, fighting for it, he said, the goal is to get better every single day. And when we put our heads up and realize we're playing for that Lombardi trophy, then it's all going to be worth it. This Houston Texans team is locked in, bro. One of my keys to the game is make Anthony Richardson throw the football. Make him be a quarterback. Make him beat you with his arm. We know how special he is on the ground. We saw it with 2 touchdowns in the span of 5 minutes. But there are a lot of questions surrounding his arm, his NFL arm talent. And during the preseason, let's be honest, just did not look good. And throws a pick 6 against the Cincinnati Bengals. and you find out during joint practices, that week, they were talking shit to AR5, saying, all you do is run. You don't throw to people. You throw to spots, and you realize that this is his 17th game since high school.
Yeah,
And,
that's crazy.
this Houston Texans defense should be swarming. Now, make them throw the ball. How do you do that? You got to have to contain Jonathan Taylor. Now, that's easier said than done. I think Jonathan Taylor is one of the best running backs in the NFL. He is going against a new front seven, though. I will say that for Lorenzo Fatukasi, Mario Edwards Jr., Daniel Hunter, who just people seem to forget about, that is a very damn good edge rusher in the NFL. They are now starting. Will Anderson Jr. was hurt at this point in week 18. You have Azeez Al-Shaair, and what was he known for? Being a run thumper with the Tennessee Titans. Should know this defense like the back of his hand. Your other two line, because you have some concern, Jake Hansen, Henry TuaTua, but hey, that's what you have.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I don't think we're going to be able to completely shut out this Colts running game. However, 120, 130, 140, that's not happening.
You don't think so? I don't think so either. I don't think so
combined, like it. I could see it combined.
Okay.
Between him and JT, but if if we in week one and say, hey, we only held Jonathan Taylor to 70, 80 rushing yards. Hey, hell, we've been 100.
I'm happy.
I am happy.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, it's easier said than done. But you put him in those second and long situations, that third and long, I don't think his arm's good enough against this Houston Texans secondary with his, options in terms of pass catchers, with Josh Down also not being available week one.
Yeah, that's true too. AD Mitchell, I think, is a very underrated option that a lot of fans have not mentioned. I would say I like AD Mitchell's game, and I like, I really like Shane Steichen, and I like the idea of how they might use AD Mitchell a lot more than a Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman just doesn't impress me a lot. Sure, he's consistent, but nothing about his game is flashy to me. Nothing about his game is, invoking fear for my defense. AD Mitchell, I'll keep an eye on, definitely. Now, not having Josh Downs, they're going to have to rely on Alec Pierce a little bit. Look, up and down kind of year last year, pretty inconsistent. Had some games where he looked okay, some other games where he did not look so good. And then you mentioned Anthony Richardson in the run game. Look, it's about gap integrity. The Houston Texans got to stay true to their gaps. They got to understand that there's going to be heavy read option with Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor. A little bit of what you saw in that first quarter from the Ravens-Chiefs game with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Look, it might not be to that extent because Lamar Jackson's just a different talent when it comes to, running the football as a quarterback. But Anthony Richardson can do things similarly. And then it would not shock me if Shane Steichen, who schematically, I would say, I'm not afraid to say this, but outcoached D'Amico Ryans in week 2 of last year. I don't want to see it again. And I know D'Amico Ryans has got a chip on that shoulder. And I'll tell you one thing, D'Amico knows. It happened last year with the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland came in, and granted, we didn't have C.J. Stroud. But in the regular season, Cleveland came in and did whatever they wanted to us. The second game did not go that way.
Yeah.
The Houston Texans, Colts, first game, everything went the Colts' way. Second game did not happen. Now, granted, Gardner Minshew played the game instead of Anthony Richardson. Oh, well, I don't want to hear excuses. I remember we were talking about that game and, talking with Colts fans, and it was like, oh, yeah, there's no excuses. This is all the chips are on the table kind of game. And now months later, it's, oh, well, this guy was hurt, and this guy was hurt, and this guy was hurt. And I'm like, well, guess what? We had no receivers in that game.
It was only Nico.
It was only Nico.
What did he do?
First play, touchdown.
75 yards. In where?
The Stroud.
The Stroud house.
Come on, man. How you not know that the only wide receiver we got is Nico Collins? How you let him do that to y'all? In Lucas Oil Stadium, in y'all's house. In whose house?
The Stroud house. And here's the thing, that Indianapolis Colts secondary is exactly the same. I went to my friends over at the Bring the Juice podcast, and they were saying, yeah, in the next 2 years, you might be looking for 2 new starting safeties. And when you look at week 18, there was no Tank Dell. There was no Stephon Diggs. There was no Joe Mixon. There was no Titus Howard. There was no Kenyon Green. This offense is now fully healthy. I think only MJ Stewart has been on the injury report the past 2 days. This Colts secondary should be freaking scared
Oh,
of
yeah.
this Houston Texans passing attack. We haven't even mentioned Dalton Schultz, who had 600 yards for the Houston Texans last year. And what you saw in the preseason, well, these tight ends were stopping at 3 yards, turning around and catching that bitch and taking it for 3, 4 more. It was just a dink and dunk offense from this Houston Texans during the preseason. I would love to see that this upcoming year. We know CJ Stroud could get the ball out quick. Someone asked about our do we have any concerns about the offensive line? I will say a little bit, because this is the first time we get to see them in 2 years. And you look at a front seven, the Colts is very good, fantastic linebackers. Expect some growing pains. However, I do think they figure it out. I'm not expecting, either side to really just dominate.
I agree with you for sure. I believe the offensive line, I think for the first few games, it could be a little rough. It could be some tough football the first few games with this offensive line. But I will say you are facing some the easier part of your schedule is obviously in the beginning. This offensive line should get better as the season goes along, as well as this team, because that's just how it goes. But really, this O-line, you just mentioned it, man. This is the first time they're playing all together. So give them games, give them constant games together. They stay healthy, knock on wood, they stay healthy, and they continue to do their thing. I mean, look, we're talking about an offensive line that could potentially be, and I don't need them to be nothing special. I just need them to be top 15. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. You give a top 15 O-line to CJ Stroud after what I saw last year with the crap he was working with Austin Deculus in the Pittsburgh Steelers game, with whoever it was later in the year. We had Michael Dieter, we had Kendrick Green, we had what's his name? He's not even here. Josh Jones. Shout out to the Houston Cougars, Houston Cougar alum, whose house? The Houston Texans could finally have a fully healthy offensive line for the first time for CJ Stroud. Just imagine what he could do with a fully healthy offensive line. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is scary. That is something that needs to be talked about a lot more. I don't see it talked about enough. What can CJ Stroud do if this offensive line does, congeal together, do their thing, and continue to work? It's going to be scary.
Which is why I mentioned how he gets the ball out quick. And with all your weapons healthy, with your pass and attack, and I think, bro, as much as I want to say start off on offense, right, I would like to start off on defense this game, put the notion of AR5 to bed. But this coach should be up the next 2 days thinking about how they're going to contain this pass attack, because I don't think they're going to be able to. With Joe Mixon, man, let's talk a little bit about him. What I want to see is 15 to 19 carries, 4 or 5 targets through the air. And I think Joe Mixon's going to make the most of that. We saw how he looked, in the joint practice against the Rams. And, you heard John Harris say in his first couple of runs, he did something great. I think he's going to have a tough task, right, when you have 2 great linebackers of E.J. Speed and Zaire Franklin. You got to worry about British Brooks being your fullback now, putting some hurt on them. What do you think about Joe Mixon in this game against the Colts front seven?
Oh, man, I'm excited about Joe Mixon. And it definitely feels like him and Dalton Schultz get forgotten a little bit when we start talking about this offense. And it's like, oh, yeah, we got Joe Mixon. Oh, yeah. And it's interesting to see what Bobby Slowick, how is his offense going to look this year? Last year, it was very run heavy. It was very give the ball to Dameon Pierce. And even when Dameon Pierce was sat down, it was give the ball to Devin Singletary. And then there was moments in the game where you're like, I just wish CJ Stroud had the ball a bit more. I wish the ball was more in the hands of your best player offensively, and that is number 7. Joe Mixon, though, creates a balance that could really open up this Texans offense. We all know this. Everybody in here knows this. When you have a good to great run game in a Kubiak-Shanahan scheme, it's nearly unstoppable. Will Kunkel said it best. If the Houston Texans are clicking at their peak, they're going to be impossible to stop. That is scary. That is absolutely scary. And when I see the Chiefs offense, just yesterday, they had what, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back for the majority of what I saw in the first half.
That's how you got to do it.
Just run it like that, man. And I know Andy Reid is just one creative son of a gun, and he's amazing as a play caller, the best play caller in NFL history. But, man, I mean, this is a copycat league. I'm taking a look at what they did, and I love to see that more implemented here in Houston. And maybe it is. We don't know. We're going to find out Sunday with Bobby Slowick and company. I feel like the Texans are ready for this matchup, man. I really do.
Score prediction.
And I think it's this opposite way with the Colts, too. Zaire Franklin mentioned it before I get the score prediction. Zaire Franklin mentioned it. He said the fans going to be ready on Sunday. And he definitely, you could tell in his demeanor, like he implied, like, yeah, we're going to be ready for the Texans on Sunday. I can't wait, man. I feel like it's going to be a chippy game. I feel like it's going to be penalties. I feel like it's going to get a little bit ugly. And I'm here for it. I love it. Especially being week 1, it could be really ugly.
80 yards on the ground, 46 yards through there. I'll take that any day of the week. And I'm saying your offense looked fantastic.
126 total yards? Yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay, Harley. We're at that moment. Now, the reason why this stream was supposed to be 7:30 and go on for a very long time, but we forgot that the NFL was playing a game tonight. So we also want to make sure you guys have enough time to, to get ready for the game. Shout out to Raul who just joined us. Harley, can we get the first hype up of the season? But before we do that, 103 people in here. Drop the swarms. Drop your score prediction. Make sure you guys are liking this stream. That's how you help me and Harley the most. And guys, we're H-Town till we drown. And we know the 103 people in here are there as well. Harley, hype us up, brother.
Look, man, we've talked about this so much. We've talked about it to ad nauseum about this Houston Texans team and what is the capabilities this year. The expectations are through the roof. The hype is crazy. And the fans are fanatics. And I love it. I love every single moment. And if you are not on this ride right now, don't even try to come get a ticket because we're sold out, ladies and gentlemen. There ain't no more room. We've exceeded the capacity. The Houston Texans are ready to lift off this season. We'll throw a little Rockets turn. The Houston Texans are ready to swarm. I think that's better. I think the Houston Texans, I know the Houston Texans are in store for a great year.
What?
I know the Houston Texans are in store for greatness.
What?
I know that the Houston Texans are going to walk into the what?
The Stroud House.
And I know that the Houston Texans with C.J. Stroud, with Stephon Diggs on my left.
What?
And John Weeks, the other captain on my right.
What?
Are going to walk into the Stroud House.
What?
They're going to do their thing.
What?
Stephon Diggs, 100+ receiving yards.
What?
Tank Dell. Hey, Colts fans, y'all didn't get to see Tank Dell.
What?
Y'all didn't get to see Tank Dell.
No, they didn't.
Tank Dell getting the touchdown.
What?
Oh, Tank Dell getting the touchdown, baby. Are we getting a Joe Mixon touchdown?
We're getting Mixon in there too?
We got to get a Joe Mixon touchdown.
This is already 21 points.
We got to get a Joe Mixon touchdown. I mean, we got to showcase the run game a little bit. We got to show him how it's done in H-Town. We got to see a little selly from Joe Mixon. We got to see a little hint. We already got the CJ Stroud and Tank connection because you know how it is left, right? Let me see you do it. Left, right. Let me see you do it. You got to see how that's popping. You got to see what Stephon Diggs and CJ Stroud could do in their end zone, Selly. We talking about Sellies, man. This is what we're talking about. We talking about how it's gonna be when we go into Lucas Oil Stadium, because this shit, like JJ Watt said, rest due. Come on now.
Every day.
And it's all about the swarm. It's all about D'Amico Ryans and company. We got 21 right now. I'm going to drop 10 more on him. I'm going 31 points for the Houston Texans. I can't see the Houston Texans not scoring 30-plus points. 31-20, the Houston Texans whoop that ass against the Indianapolis Colts. Look, it's a close game, but the better team, at least on paper, the better team in the Houston Texans, and why they're favored and why they got all the hype and why they got all the expectations are going to showcase to the rest of the NFL. And sure, it might be a 12 o'clock game, but it's going to feel like a Sunday night football game. It's going to have that playoff atmosphere tingling in the air. The fans are going to go crazy. The Colts fans are going to boo CJ Stroud. And guess what? CJ Stroud knows it. He loves that shit. We love being a villain. This is Houston, man.
H-Town.
This is H-Town, man. You think we afraid of being a villain? We
drown.
rep our Houston Astros, the biggest villains of the MLB. You think the Texans are afraid to be the villain? Hell no. We're going to go in there and stop a damn mud hole into Lucas Oil Stadium, 31-20. I can't wait. You can't wait. We drink a little bit. We have a bunch of fun. And we just continue saying how CJ Stroud will dominate the Stroud house.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 2 days, we go to war. In 2 days, you let the NFL world know who exactly the Houston Texans are. And I say this, Harley, the NFL is scared. They don't want the Houston Texans to be successful. They didn't expect it last season. Now they expect it this year. And I think this team is going to live up to the hype. When you look at it all the way down from ownership, front office, coaching staff, offense, defense, special teams, I don't see a glaring weakness. This is the season that I've been waiting for since I was a little kid. Since I was here before the Bleacher Report app, since I was, at training camp where they made you stand out in the sun instead of the bleachers because that was for the season ticket members. You're going to walk in on Sunday. You're going to make Anthony Richardson look like a bum. You're going to kill the notion of AR5. You're going to have all of Indy so disappointed in their quarterback's performance. And it's going to be because this D'Amico-led Ryan's defense came to hunt. And Jalen Petrie, I'm looking at you because I am already putting you in for my dark horse player of the game. You are closer to the line of scrimmage like you were in Baylor. Shout out to our boy Cody Johnson, who had this notion since 2 years ago. You are going to be a torpedo. You are going to be one of the reasons why this Houston Texans defense is talked about at the end of the game. I'm going to tell you this right now. They're going to say, we've been excited for this offense, but look at what this Houston Texans defense did against the Indianapolis Colts offense. Danielle Hunter, let's hunt. Let's walk out of Indianapolis with the horse's head slung over our shoulder, and let's end week 1-0.
Score prediction?
I'm right with you. 30-20.
Okay.
30-20. I think like it might start off close, but I think the better team pulls away. And I think this Houston Texans defense I think this Houston Texans defense is going to give them hell. It's not going to be easy, guys. I am excited. And boys, we are going to end tonight's stream. The only thing we got to do now is get ready for week 1 on Sunday. You could find them. You can find Harley at @the_lead_Houston, man. What are you doing for the game, bro? I'm going to be live streaming. What about you?
I'm going to be chilling at the crib, man. I'm going to hang out with Pops. It's the first game. It's always tradition. Got to hang out with Pops. Got to watch the game with him. That's just tradition for us. This is the first game. I can't wait. We're both hyped. We're both ecstatic. Oh, man. This is Texans football, man. The NFL is back. Shout out to everyone, that is excited about their team for week 1, man. This is a lot of fun. I absolutely love it. Yeah, man, that's all I'm doing, man. I'm just gonna be chilling.
Can't wait, bro. Can't wait to talk about a victory Sunday night on Bleacher Report, man. Make sure you guys there for the post-game show.
Sure.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, NFL Week 1 is here. Buckle up because now it's going to be over right before you know it, dude. I can't wait. You